My name is John Kocur. I'm a professional jazz saxophonist and also a music educator. I teach at George Mason University, but also I run a nonprofit called the Loudoun Jazz Society. And I also play saxophone in the 257th Army Band, which is the band of the nation's capital, part of the DC National Guard. So I wear many hats, but all of them are related to music, whether it's my teaching or through my nonprofit work or through my playing. All of it is related to that idea of trying to help people through the power of music. Music changed my life when I saw Kenny Garrett, to me one of the great jazz masters alive. He could put on a jazz show that was much more like a rock concert or even a sort of revival. I saw him in New York City one time play at a festival where he had thousands of people in New York City dancing, singing, and just completely invested in the saxophone playing that they were hearing on stage with this great jazz band. And it showed me that jazz music at its core was something that could be just as exciting as a rock concert or a pop concert. And it's a kind of music that brings people together and gives them a thrilling experience. And that's what I've been trying to do my whole life, is to try to create a little bit of that thrilling experience for people who get to hear my music. What inspires me are both the high times in life and the lowest times in life, and how to express those through music. It's in writing music that I really feel inspired, that I can find my own voice and say what I want to say to the world that perhaps maybe only I can say, because each person is unique and we all have something that we can say that nobody else in the world is in a position to do. In the wake of my father's rather surprising death, I used music to grieve through that experience, and the songs that I wrote made their way onto my second album as a band leader called Fortitude. Fortitude is strength in the face of adversity. And all the songs, I think, have this sense of perhaps sadness, but also a sense of hope, and that's what I wanted to convey on that album, Fortitude. I think one of the biggest challenges I've faced in music is self-doubt. That self-doubt can be crippling if you allow it to do that. You have to remember why you got started in music in the first place, the joy of playing an instrument or singing for the first time, and those most memorable musical experiences that you have. You keep those in your mind, and then you can feed off that energy and keep yourself going in those times when it seems like the challenges in front of you are insurmountable. I see people come together through music every time we have one of our Loudoun Jazz Jams. People come together to create this beautiful community where people's voices can be heard, people can express themselves, and really say what they want to say on their instruments. That no matter who you are, if you play an instrument or sing, you can make music with other people you've never met through the shared cultural language of jazz. When I was a student at George Mason University, about over 20 years ago, I was able to play in this charitable event called Jazz for Justice, founded by Ed Weiner and Jim Carroll at George Mason University. And the mission was to put on a concert that would raise money for people who need legal assistance, that might not be able to afford a great lawyer, but perhaps needed representation. And you wouldn't think that lawyers and musicians would have a lot in common, but it was a beautiful way to meet people you wouldn't normally meet, and to use music to benefit the community. And now that I work over at George Mason University, Jazz for Justice continues to be an important part of the Fairfax community, and to do good work for Fairfax, Virginia, and Northern Virginia at large. Don't be afraid to take chances and to introduce yourself to people. You have to put your music out there if anybody's ever going to hear it, or if you're going to become the best musician you can be, you've got to also put yourself out there with the best. And don't hide what you're doing. Show it off and get out there and put yourself out into the world, because that's where the music's made.